Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I got this incense burning right now, and I don't know if it's too much yet. I'm trying to decide if it's too much. Feels like it's too much. I mean, that shit is like smoldering, homie. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it's going to distract me. Let's just go ahead and take care of that. There we go. Okay. All right, guys. Welcome. It's good to see you. Uh yeah. busy 24 hours, huh? Kind of wild. Sorry guys for the way I sound. I'm still a little sick. This thing, man, I'm telling you, I mean, I don't know if I got COVID because like this is my whole thing right now. As far as COVID goes, this feels like when I had COVID before, right? It feels like that, and it's lasting as long as it did before, but I haven't been tested yet, and I ordered a home testing thing, and the home testing thing, it takes like 7 days to ship. It's only been like 5 maybe. And On top of that, I got to get the results. So by the time that I get the results, I'm imagining I'm probably just going to test negative anyway. You know what I mean? So the only thing I could do right now is just, try to take care of myself as best as I can, and drink fluids. And so now I don't know if I have COVID. I don't know. All I know is that I feel like shit. That's all I know. All I know is that I feel like shit, and I've been feeling like shit for days. But I feel better today. Today feels like I'm on the road to recovery. You know, Most definitely. I felt like that last night as well. Um, this thing still ain't gone out. All right, whatever. Um, so yeah, that's all that is. And uh as long as I keep resting and drinking orange juice and water and soup, I'll be all right. I did order a pizza though, and I had pizza. I did do that. I did do that. Uh yeah, right, Patty Whack. That's what I'm saying, man. All you can do is just, wait it out and be smart how you do it. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't been drinking at all, and that's definitely helping. That's definitely helping. uh, so, um, yeah, man. Uh, as far as these boobs on the ground, here I was thinking that's all we're gonna hear from them. Jumping to that conclusion probably wasn't the most, uh, you know, educated thing to do, but you know what I mean. Now, what's going on with is last night? Okay, so there's this channel, right? And I'm hearing mixed reviews about this channel. I only know of this dude because Laura was on panel, and I was drinking wine, and I thought it would be fun to get up there and troll her, and I did. And she she got mad and jumped off, which is exactly what I was kind of trying to do. Uh, and what's funny is I don't even listen to Laura, dude. I don't even listen to Laura. I just like I've had interactions with her, and every time, like the basis of me and Laura's dynamic is simply she starts talking out of her ass. Somebody lets me know that that's happening, and then I jump on that panel, and then I just want to get on her last nerve. That's really all there is to it. That's all. I can't. There's literally nothing beyond that. I don't have any feelings for or against her in any way, shape, or form. I don't. I All I know is every time I've heard her talk, she sounds like a fucking idiot, and it's only a handful of times. It's only a handful of times, and she always, like, you could count on her to say something stupid. Like the other night, she said, that you gotta be a piece of shit if your kids get taken away from you, which is the most ignorant fucking comment ever. Well, not ever, but it's one of it's up there. It's up there. It's super ignorant. Super ignorant. And so I was just like, you know, how could you say that? You know what I mean? Like, do you realize what you sound like when you talk like that? Now, so Dolly Vision, he was live last night. I like his channel so far. I mean, from what I've seen, you know what I mean? Like, I jumped there on Laura's thing, and then I listened to her, or I listened to Dolly Vision for like, oh, thanks, Rain Song, I appreciate it. For a few minutes the other night, and then last night I didn't get to listen to it, but we're gonna go over it. And now, like every other creator went over this today already, but I can't, I can't, I Hillbilly Nitro USA. Um, I have not made an opinion. I'm hearing mixed opinions about Dolly Vision and how he conducted this thing, and I heard clips of it, but I thought it sounded all right. What I heard anyway. I wasn't consistently in everyone's chat today. I caught as much as I could of each one, and a good deal, just, but I'm also interacting in chat a lot, and I can't listen and type and read at the same time. I just can't do that. So I've only heard little, I only certain parts of this interview, only certain parts of this interview are kind of sticking with me. So we're gonna go over it. I'm gonna give you guys my take on it as we listen to it. Yeah. Oh no, it's absolutely ADHD. Keep it real. Yeah, yeah. There's no doubt about that. I was diagnosed with that as a very young age. All right. So I was on Blood Money, Benny Keys looking ass on his panel earlier this morning. Like, I just woke up. He was live. He had the StreamYard open. I was like, I'll sit and talk to Benny while I have a cup of coffee and a cigarette, you know? And it was nice. It was a real nice conversation. We had a real nice exchange. It was cool. And he just went live and had Don Wells on his panel there and did some Q&A, but I wasn't really able to pay attention to it. I had other stuff going on. But he seems to be, now my whole thing on that is, Don Wells, Candace Bly, right now, they need at least some positive end of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need, regardless if they're guilty or innocent, honestly. You know what I'm saying? The side of me that, even if I think you're guilty, you know what I mean? Even if I think so, right? Like, you at least get to have that before you end up in prison or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just have somebody that's on your side to talk to. You know what I mean? Like, in the court of public opinion, why can't the same thing apply? Why can't they have somebody to represent them and give them a voice to speak up? You know what I mean? As well as in a court of law where you would have an attorney, not to say that Benny's an attorney, or anything like that. I'm just saying I think it's nice, and there's nothing wrong with, if you are the type of person who even believes that they're guilty. I'm not one of those people, but I don't know what to think yet. I'm just saying I'm not one of those people. But even if you are, it's just compassionate to look at it from that standpoint and think, it's really nice that they have a channel on YouTube that they feel comfortable speaking comfortably and speaking candidly, and to me, I think that's kind of Benny to have that. I don't, he's not even monetized. I don't get his motivation for wanting to do that other than just wanting to be a good friend of them, which is fine. It's great. So anybody trash talking this dude for that is just, where's your compassion? Where's your empathy? You know what I mean? That's just how I see it. That's just my opinion, you know? Um, but let's get into this whole thing here, man. So that's why I came on so late. So I apologize for that. But I wanted people to, you know, it's only fair, if half of YouTube is trash talking this family, you know, give them a place to just talk and chill out, and he was real calm, and it was nice. So good on Benny for that. All right.
I would never to come up here. Give her a chance. Right? Treat the woman as a human. Damn. Dolly.
Molly.
Is this Molly?
Yes, it is. How are you?
I am doing pretty good. Nice to finally meet you, Molly.
Well, I never heard of you until
Now, nobody should be criticizing this dude for being nice to somebody who has not been going on people's panels. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been openly speaking against and people mistreating. He's been speaking against her. You know what I mean? So to me, it makes sense. Now I get it, but because I'm hearing a lot of things like he didn't ask the right questions, but we're going to get to that. I can't make that that distinction just yet, but I'm not going to fault the guy for being nice to her for coming on his panel. If she decides to come up on this panel, she's going to get a certain level of respect after everything that I've said. She's going to get a certain level of respect so that I could actually talk to her and ask her the questions that I've been meaning to ask her. But it's a question of, in my opinion, what kind of questions does he ask?
well, yesterday.
You never heard of me? Yeah, well, I make a little bit of noise on the internet every now and then. I rattle a few cages and see what's going on. And I woke up to a bunch of messages about you today. And it was that, she's talking about the video of the caller from Ireland. Okay, because there's some things, I ain't gonna lie with you, Molly. There's some things you do that just it just rubbed me the wrong way. But there's some things you do that I also appreciate. I'll be fair.
Like what?
The whole Tennessee thing, I just totally disagree.
See, it would have been
maybe, and you can clear that up for me a little bit. I just
see little things like that. I could see how people got annoyed with that, because it's like, okay, there's things I would have named some of those things, because otherwise it just sounds like he's just saying whatever he can to patronize her and keep her on there. And if I sense that I'm being patronized and I don't need to be on your fucking panel, you know what I'm saying? I might just be like, you know what? I'm out, So I get him trying to keep her on there, but keep it real too, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't know your motivation in it. Like, do you I'll get into that in a minute, because I want to talk about your mod first, because I found that funny. Okay. That is the lady. That is
now, I don't know what's going on with the Susan thing.
Night. There's no twin sister that exists. That is from Ireland. That and I was finding how you was talking to her pretty entertaining, especially the part where you.
Okay, you guys want to go to that and then come back to this, because I'm not familiar with the whole Susan thing. If anybody has that clipped or knows where I could go to get it, share it with me and I'll go over it, because I don't know what's going on with that.
You said you got the sweater and the heels on the ground hoodie, and then you go and you shit talk me, and you want a life coach session. To me, that was priceless. That was priceless. I mean, absolute priceless. And I'm thinking,
But how is that priceless if you know damn well? All right, now I'm starting to see what people are talking. How is that priceless if you know damn well You know, now again, he could just be, this could just be his method of just, he knows to stroke her ego in order to keep her there. You know what I mean? Like maybe he's just playing her. You know what I mean? But like, how is it priceless when you know that like she's got no business calling herself a life coach? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
She's absolutely right. And people are quick to stab you in the back. And not be open.
I didn't know.
What she should have said to you is probably like, yeah, Molly, I disagree with you. Like, I'll tell you instantly, like, yeah, I didn't feel none of that stuff you did in Tennessee whatsoever. None.
Okay.
You know, do you have good intentions? I don't really know, because I don't know you. And that's what I want to speak with you about. Is your intentions really good?
Now, hypothetically, before he makes that point, hypothetically here, like if Molly were to come on this channel and I just started going, you know what, you're bullshit coming here to Tennessee and acting a goddamn fool and getting a man fired. How the hell do you justify that? Because that's pretty much what would come out of my mouth in that tone, right? I mean, that's how I've been talking this whole time, right? So if this dude, you know what I'm saying? What works better? Because what would happen if I were to do that? She's going to be more likely like, you know what? Fuck you. You think you're blah, 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 blah. And it would have turned into a fight and it wouldn't have been productive. And I would have gotten shit out of her. You know what I'm saying?
I know that you're a former like reality person. I watched you on, well, I watched a little bit of you on Wife Swap. Okay. Because the dude you were with was a little bit like a tight ass. And I was just like, that's weird. But and I watched you on Cops with your friend twerking in the street, you know. And my thought is, I understand you like the attention.
Hold on.
And I'm sure you're not ashamed to admit that you
type of one. If you know about the Susan thing, and that this statement is accurate. Okay. Somebody just sent me, one of her subs and mods went on Dolly's channel and slammed her. The mod claims it was her sister. It wasn't. LOL. Is that accurate? Because I don't know. I didn't listen to it. Okay. All right. So that's why he was just like, you got a sister, you know, she ain't got a sister, blah, blah, blah. All right. That makes more sense. All right, cool.
like attention.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, I mean, I understood that, and that's what I thought from the beginning. And the biggest question to me, and I know you're going to make money on YouTube as it comes in, and when people give you money, because there's a big thing about this lady wanting her money back. And I actually defended you on that. And I said, look, when you give people money, when you donate, I think you're donating for entertainment. Now, I don't know if these people were told that, you know, you give us this money, we're going to come back with Summer Wells's body. You know, I don't know what they were told, but I believe when people give you a super chat or that type of money, and that it's yours, you know, and when people want their money back, when they get mad at you, that's just like, now you're upset.
There was no reason for her to get mad at me. I read off everything that she sent me. She was always nice to me. And then, so I was very shocked on that very last day where she was sending.
Now, in a little while, I'm going to go over some of the latest statistics from Jesus, I already forgot the name of that site. But I'm going to go over that stuff again because I've been putting in people's chats lately. Molly's subscriber change percentage has gone down significantly in the last 28 days. Or 30 days. So has Bullhorn Betty's. And so has Chronicles of Olivia, but not that much. I mean, nobody's really watching her anyway. But Bullhorn Betty and Molly Golightly's their subscriber change percentages has plummeted. And it just keeps going. It just keeps going. And the only explanation for that is that people are opening their eyes. People are seeing, like, you know, they're listening to the other channels and going, wait a minute, they have a point. What did you actually do out there? Did I give you money so that you could go out there and get a man fired from his job when there's literally no evidence to say that he had anything to do with his daughter's disappearance? Is that what I gave you money for? To go out there and just act a fool and get drunk and harass people? Like, to be bad drunks. That's what I paid for. I paid you money to be bad drunks, to take a road trip and be a bunch of bad drunks on tour. So, I mean,
me that message. Number one, I never had a wish list. Nothing ever came to my house. Betty ordered 3 of everything for them.
mm-hmm.
I never had.
Look at her just throwing Betty under the bus, bro. Look at she's just throwing her under the bus. She ordered 3 of everything. Like, what a catty little jab that was.
And no, I have no interest of getting into, any sort of forest with a machete and
we know
looking for dead bodies. They are okay with that. I'm kind of not. So
okay.
But a lot of people think that I had a wish list. I would never do a wish list. I would never do a GoFundMe. I would never do anything like that. Everything that anyone has.
Okay, listen to her logic. I would never do a GoFundMe. I would never do a wish list. Like, first of all, what does GoFundMe have to do with anything? The bottom line is that you are absolutely, now you could have, the irony in her saying, I would never do a GoFundMe, right? I would never do a GoFundMe. The irony in that is if this was actually a nonprofit thing that she's been claiming this whole time that it is, she could have actually justified a GoFundMe had she gotten the family's permission for it. So if she would have gotten authorization from the family or the reward fund, whoever handles that, and raised money for that, then yeah, you get to call yourself a nonprofit. Sure, because the money's not going to you. You're not profiting. But when all you're giving out is your Cash App, your PayPal, you're getting super chats, and you're claiming that it's going towards a search for summer when you didn't do anything to search for summer. You did absolutely nothing to search for summer. What you did was you harassed people and got drunk. Not always in that order. So I don't know why you're sitting here acting like we should be so grateful to you, and you're acting like you're this misunderstood individual in this whole situation because you didn't start a GoFundMe. If you had actually gotten an authorized GoFundMe and started it, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. And if you had actually gone out there and just simply asked kindly to interview people and asked them for permission to record them, well, then people would probably be looking at you a lot different. I mean, that's just the facts.
Donated to that Heels on the Ground. It went and over.
Who's Heels on the Ground? You.
I'm over 900 out of my pocket. And you hear me bitching? No, I'm not doing a fundraiser.
That's exactly what you're
it
doing
is
right
what
now.
It is. And
because if you weren't bitching about 900 being out of your pocket, we wouldn't know that you paid 900 out of your fucking pocket. So stop it.
We did the best that we could. And just remember that we only had 6 days to, come up with a plan and get as much done.
I'm glad you said that. Who is the planner in y'all's crew? Like who is planning like what's going to happen? Do y'all sit around together and just be like, okay, I think we should do this, and y'all kind of vote on it? Or does one person go, okay,
at least she admits
this
it.
is the agenda for today. This is what we're going to go out and do. And this is what we're trying to achieve.
Yes.
Okay, who is that person?
That would be more of Jonathan, who's very focused.
Which I figured.
But Betty does all the calls and lets everybody know.
Okay.
And pretty much I felt like my responsibility was the crowdfunding.
Okay. Yeah, because you are the bigger
Was the what?
face of the three. I can understand that you're the face of it.
See, this dude, I wouldn't be. I mean, I'm not faulting him because maybe I should. If I were interviewing her right now, maybe I should be like that instead of saying what's coming to my mind, which is, well, what the fuck were you doing then? Like, it doesn't sound like you were doing jack shit other than harassing people and hassling people. Literally, like I saw you eat, drink, and fuck with people and fuck with their lives. That's what I saw you do. Like,
But they're more the planner and what was going on. So at this point,
yeah,
you're the funding, the face of it, and you're just kind of going along with what they got scheduled for today.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And yeah, but the thing is, remember that, and it's very important that people notice that he won't really talk to Betty. He'll only talk to me.
Don.
So, like, all these conversations are always...
That's because he doesn't want to get beat up.
Me. You know, him inviting me up to that house. Oh, we gotta be friends. We gotta be friends. It's me. So, like, they could say, oh...
See, now, I mean, yes, okay, we got it. We got it. So this is her trying to justify what her place in all this is and what her value is. And it's, if Dawn's going to talk to anybody, it's going to be her. And that's it. You know what I mean? But look at everything that happens. I mean, one of the things, and I got to touch on this because I have touched on this before. One of the things that I have to touch on is she was incredibly loud and abusive the entire time. So I feel like Don would only talk to her because he knew he didn't want to get berated and attacked, right? So he was like, and I'm just guessing, because this is what I would do if I was Don. Honestly, my thinking would be, look, I'll talk to one of y'all. All right. And it's going to be in a private place, you know, or a public place where you can't like go nuts on me and you can hear my side of things because I'm dying to reason with you. I am just trying to reason with you. You are fucking with my life in a really, really messed up way. And it's really a lot for me and my wife to take. That would have been my intention. So she's sitting here saying, well, he's saying he wants to meet me. But, you know, he won't meet me. But you're forgetting the fact that you keep showing up to where he is and screaming through a bullhorn and calling him a child murderer. You're forgetting that that's what you've been doing that whole time. So why do you think he's going to meet with you? He's afraid of you. And rightfully so. He's afraid of you. I mean, you film people without them knowing. I mean, you're easily, as far as somebody who is, you're considering to let interview you and your child is missing and people are already making crazy accusations against you. Well, you're gonna, if as far as that goes, somebody like Molly Golightly being that person that you are considering to allow to interview you, like, she's the scariest that there is. Like, she's proven that she's willing to do literally anything underhanded. She's proven that she's literally prepared and willing to do the lowest shit that somebody can do. She's gonna, I mean, she had the audacity to film Hawkins County Sheriff's officers without their knowledge. She had the audacity to film a little girl and post her face without her permission while she's in a place of worship with her mom. I mean, I could keep going.
Oh, they're using her. They're all using her. I don't care. I mean, what's the difference between Andra or them using me and everybody else that makes thousands of dollars on YouTube a month, and every video that they talk about is me? So you're using me.
I totally am. I totally am. And it's perfectly justified. It's perfectly justified. See, you're comparing, well, what's the difference between me? This logic of hers is, if I'm using Summer Wells' name, what's the difference between me using her and them using me? If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about her and her personality and what type of a soul she is, I don't know what else to tell you. This is someone who's sitting here, bold-faced, dead serious, and doesn't know the difference between using this little girl's name to make money when she's not doing anything that she's saying she's supposed to be doing. Because make no mistake, I have used Summer Wells' name and I have made money. Not very much at all, but I have made money. I'm not tagging Summer's name in here because this isn't about Summer. This is about her exploiting Summer. There's a big difference. Okay? When there's updates and I share those updates, I will tag Summer Wells, find Summer Wells. Absolutely. Because what I'm trying to do is create awareness. That's what I'm trying to do. I feel that I'm using her name responsibly in order to spread awareness. There is a big difference between that and then saying, all I care about is Summer, and every single action that you do is contrary to that. Saying the words doesn't make it so. So you're saying the words, but everything that you do is contrary. Your actions contradict your words consistently. So when you're sitting there saying, what's the difference between me using Summer and them using me? Well, there's a massive difference. Because you're not a missing 5-year-old little girl. What you are is an asshole who's exploiting a missing 5-year-old little girl. And so I feel more than comfortable exploiting you. More than comfortable. I mean, as far as reasons, as far as justification for me covering something on YouTube, it's the equivalent as far as comfort to just the most softest feather bed that was designed to imitate solid version of a cloud. That's how comfortable I am exploiting you, Marissa, because you have done horrible, horrible things while using Summer's name. Because what you're doing is, what you don't realize is that you're disrespecting that child in the most horrific way. When you went and walked all over Don's mother's grave, you failed to think of it as Summer's grandmother's grave. You failed to think that by saying these horrible things about the resting place of Summer's grandmother, that you were disrespecting Summer. You failed to realize that. That is because you lack any sense of empathy. That is because you are a very selfish, disgusting person. That's the only reason why. No other reason than you just come from a really shitty place. That's all.
So yeah. Even me, right? Because you're a hot topic right now. You're a hot commodity right now. You're pretty.
See, I don't like that either. She's a hot topic. She's a hot commodity. No, She's she has people's attention because she is an unbelievable piece of shit. That's all there is to it. What makes her a hot commodity and a hot topic is the fact that people are just so disgusted by her and they have to call her out on it. I'm not here trying to, I'm not naive. I mean, I can be, but I'm not so naive to where I think that I'm up here and I'm going to somehow inspire Marissa to have a change of heart. That's not going to happen. People like that, all they do is make excuses. No matter what I say, there's going to be an excuse for what she does coming from her. No matter what I call her out on, there will be an excuse coming from her. Guaranteed. There will be an excuse or some sort of false justification. Guaranteed. Because that is all we've heard so far. That is all we've heard so far. So that's that's why she has so many people's attention. So I'm not sitting here trying to change her mind. What I'm trying to do is change her listeners' mind. And guess what? A bunch of us have been doing that, and it's working. It's working. And now she's in a panic. And she fucking should be.
Talked about on the internet right now, and a lot of people, and I don't know if that's it for like a shock thing that you have shocked the system. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, how I get people's attentions, I rattle the cages a little bit. I think you're more of a shock person. You like to shock people. And that's just my opinion. I don't mean that's true. It's just what I think you're a little more of a shock rocker on YouTube, and you sell a little bit of that drama. You sell a little bit of that.
No.
And
she believes her own bullshit.
That whole thing where we were face to face, that was.
Let me stop you right there, Dolly. She believes her bullshit. Make no mistake about that. Now, she does know, she's aware that what she's doing is wrong. She's just too proud and too narcissistic to do anything about it. So what she's doing is she's paving a road for herself of just simply doing something shitty, justifying it, and paving the road for the next shitty thing that she's going to be able to do. It's going to be a pattern that's going to continue and continue and continue. So no, she's not just being a shocker. That's not what it is. She is kind of, but she's doing it because she is a shitty person. Absolutely, because she is a shitty person. Blood Money Benny Keys looking ass. What's up, dude?
Was definitely not planned. And I was the wild card on that one. I'm sorry. I took the responsibility. It wasn't my intention to get him fired from that one job. He is back to work. Everyone thinks that they're, starving. And
hold on a second. I'm going to keep this playing, but I'm going to look for something. Hold that thought. She never wanted to get him fired. Okay? She's up here saying straight up, she never wanted to get Don fired, right?
Not working at all. He's definitely working. He just got off of that job because it was a little too much. But he is still working. And it was not my intention. But the thing is we were at basically the second to the last day. That was when I was wearing the orange. And the way that this dude makes you feel is he makes you feel bad for him. And then he makes plans with you. And he stands you up and he stands you up. He just gave us no choice. When I saw him closing that, because you could see me running towards, but then when I saw the garage door closing because he knows coming in, that's when I was like, oh, hell no. No, you don't. And that's when the incredible help came out.
Yeah, like, do you think your emotions just got the better of you? And that was just not planned?
Hold on a second, guys. She never intended for Don to lose his job, right? She never wanted that, right? She never wanted that. Now, this is courtesy of Savage Live. I like her. She's fun. Wait.
How much in the clip you showed about that boy being taken and found X amount of years later? That could be the same with someone else. Who knows?
That's what I said. I said that's why somebody needs to send that clip right there to Molly next time she wants to scream at somebody and say, your kid is dead. You know what I'm saying?
I never said that. By the way, where did that come from? Can I ask you a question?
So 2 lies
Where
we're
did I
catching
ever
right now.
say this kid is dead? So apparently there was a rumor going around that
Listen
I
up,
said
folks. Here it
when I met
comes.
them, your kid
I
is
never
dead.
said that.
I don't remember saying that.
No, you didn't. I know that's not me talking. That's my other sister.
This is terrible. All right, Susan, enjoy your day. It was nice talking to you. Sorry, Don.
Now, trigger warning, guys, because this footage right here makes me sick to my stomach every time. Every time. But it's necessary to share. So now remember, she said she never wanted to get Don fired, and she never said anything about a dead baby, right?
Sorry you lost your job. I'm sorry that your baby's dead. I'm sorry that you don't have a soul. Sorry you lost your job. I'm sorry that your baby's dead. I'm sorry that you don't have a soul. No soul.
Wow. Guys, I have to point this out. Okay? I have to point this out because that's not just shock. Okay, people? That's not what that is. That's not just shock. Okay? Because no shocker would ever actually do that to an actual parent of an actual missing child. No shock rocker or shock jock would ever do that. They would never stoop that low. You have to be someone full of hate to say such hateful fucking shit. You have to be so consumed with hatred to bring yourself to say shit like that to people and film yourself doing it with pride. There's nothing that anybody can ever convince me of that that's anything other than pure hatred. How anyone can muster up the stones to talk like that to another human being, especially a human being or 2 human beings in the situation that those 2 human beings are in right now. That is nothing less than pure evil. That is nothing less than pure hatred. What is going on? And this is the thing. This is the thing about being empathetic and trying to practice empathy. Because what I see her, I don't think, God, I hate her. At no point has the words, fuck, I hate Molly Golightly. Have they ever come through my mind? Never. I actually feel sorry for her. What is it like to not experience any type of joy from bringing others joy? What is it like to only have joy brought to you by bringing misery upon others? That sounds like hell to me. Like when you read in the Bible, and I'm not trying to get all religious with you guys, but I am familiar with my Bible pretty well. But when you read the Bible, what they say hell is, the way that they describe hell is it's the absence of God, right? It's the absence of love. God is love, according to the Bible, correct? So it's the absence of God. What we're looking at right there, if there is a God, is the absolute pure absence of it. I'm sorry, but that's the fucking truth. That is honestly how I feel about what I'm looking at right there when I see her say those things to somebody. That's pure hatred. That is an absolute absence of anything good. And I feel bad for her for that. I have contempt over the things that she does. I have contempt for the things that she does. And it makes me look at her in disgust. And I'll call her a fucking idiot because that's what she is. And I'll call her a fucking moron because that's what she is. And I'll call her a fucking asshole because that's what she is. But make no mistake, my feelings about her are pity. It's pity. Man, Benny, come on, dude. I wish you hadn't done that, but I appreciate it though, man. Thank you. Excuse me, guys. No, man, get out of here.
That you had no plan that you were going to see him. You just
150%.
it was just luck. He might be here.
150%.
Okay, let me clear this up with some people out there that
Like
the interview you did in the restaurant with the Dudley guy. Was he paid at any point for any of that interview?
See, that's a good question.
Why would you ask something like that?
Because a lot of people.
Why won't you answer it?
And if he has paid, then he has a incentive.
Why won't you answer it? If the answer was no, she would have just been like, no, absolutely not. Right? That's what she's been doing. So why all of a sudden would she stall and ask? Why would you ask that? So right now, people, I am 100% convinced that Dudley was paid for that fucking farce of an interview. I don't even like saying the word interview
to say things that are necessarily not true. That's why I would ask.
Oh well, we will also. Well, hey, I'll tell you what.
No, I'm saying if you bought him a meal and said, "Hey, come up here, we'll cover your expenses to meet us," then I mean that's understandable.
Yeah.
But we bought them dinner. We bought them in dinner at the place that they wanted to go. I was also accused of we were also accused a month and a half ago of being paid. No, we sold our story to the news. The news don't buy.
Right.
The news don't buy that.
But you do. But you're professional journalists, correct? Now, they will take you out to dinner. If you're somebody who's in demand right now, and a major media news source wants to interview you, the least that news place can do is get a space, provide a space for that interview to take place. Buy you lunch, whatever, go over drinks, sure, whatever, it just makes perfect sense to do that. But to pay for the interview is it's a conflict of interest, I would imagine. I don't know this for sure. I'm just imagining it would be a conflict of interest, because who's to say that they're not paying them to give them the answers that they want? That's going to sell more of whatever they're selling, right? And in Molly's case, it's super chats. It's for super chats, and and we know this for a fact because when WJHL, I think it is WJHL, when they interviewed Molly and the other boobs, there was a segment on there where she's going over and talking about the super chats. They aired that shit where Molly is explaining super chats in the chat. So she's clearly looking for money. And she's using this large platform, a local, but it's not that large. You know what I mean? Like, it's on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Which is worldwide, but they only have like fucking, I don't know, just a few thousand subscribers. I haven't looked in a while, but they're a local news station. Who's she reaching? Everybody in that part of Tennessee? You know what I mean? But here she is, in her mind, she's this big star now. This is television. So let me show you how super chats work. Once you subscribe to my channel, I'm going to go live all the fucking time. And then you could just click this little $sign and you could super chat me.
They don't pay us. So you know what they did while I was live? We called.
Which is why it was unethical for you to pay them, to pay him.
We called the guy that did that piece on us on the news, and I called his cell phone. He's like, "Oh, hello." I go, "Do you remember me?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "How much did you pay us for that?" And he says, "Nothing." And you know, everyone. Does anybody ever say they're sorry for lying about me? No, that dude never lied. He never.
You haven't even said you're sorry for getting Don fired from his job. All you did was defend yourself in that situation. So no apologies are ever coming from me. You're a shitty, fucked up person.
Said no. I'm sorry I lied, or maybe I thought they got paid. No, these people down there were very interested in what we were down there for, and no one down there really believed that these people are innocent.
Yeah,
time has gone by.
I was going to go into that with you, Molly. I was about to go into you with just about that. You said a lot of these people down there don't believe they're innocent. Now, I'm pretty convinced you don't believe they're innocent. And I was about to ask you to tell me why in your mind that you're so convinced that they're guilty that your actions are justifiable.
Absolutely.
And if you can answer that for me, I'll have a whole different respect for you.
Oh, I'll give you the most.
That's actually a good question. That's a great question.
Number one, they don't act like a family that is looking for their child actively. They just want to party. And
how do you know how parents should act if their kids are missing and have been missing for 7 months? How do you know how parents should act? You don't even understand these people in the first place. The truth is that she just simply doesn't approve of the way they live. She thinks she's better than them. She thinks because she has a standard for having a nice handbag and some nice heels and nice dresses that she's better than them. That's all that is. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate that for the Cash App. Thank you.
They're not doing anything to get their sons back. When we pulled up all the...
You don't know what they're doing to get their sons back. You don't have any idea what they're doing to get their sons back. Maybe they've even decided that their kids are probably better off right now. That right now their kids have better opportunities right now than with them. And maybe as parents, they made the responsible decision. Instead of looking at their kids as possessions, they looked at them like, you know what? They can be provided better right now. Maybe this is what's best for them. But what's best for their future. Maybe this is their best chance. Maybe they're taking accountability for that. Now, and I can understand how people might not respect that. That's okay. I get that. I totally get that. But that's what the system exists for. That's what the system exists for. If a child has very little opportunity to succeed and flourish, the system is there to make sure that they do. That's what it's designed for anyway. Does it always work that way? Hardly. Hardly. But that is what it's designed to do. So in one of the rarest occasions where that's possibly the issue here, why are they being judged for that? Now you could sit here and say, well, they shouldn't have had kids in the first place. Okay, but they did. So that's irrelevant now. They did. So what now? Right? What now? Best thing for these kids, what it seems like right now, is being in the state's care. I mean, that's what it seems like to me right now. So, you know, and I'm not saying that to say anything against Don and Candace. I'm not. I'm saying they're clearly not in an emotionally good place right now. So maybe they're aware of this and saying, you know what, the best thing to do is, you know, give them a break. Maybe this will be easier for them. But I don't know if that's the case. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. That's all. But I don't know what the case is. But the most important thing that we're all forgetting, though, is that it doesn't matter. For Molly to be sitting here and saying something about them trying to get back their kids or not trying to get back their kids, she's forgetting one important thing. It's none of her fucking business. That's a private family issue that has nothing to do with whether or not Summer went missing. Or why she went missing, I should say. It has nothing to do with it. It's a completely separate thing that's literally none of her business. Benjamin, thank you. Appreciate that for the PayPal. So the fact that she's like acting like she's entitled to some answers when it comes to their personal family business, again, shows what kind of person she is. She's a shitty person. That's none of your business. It's none of my business. It's nobody's business. What's going on as far as CPS and their children has nothing to do with Summer.
911 cards and the calls. There's been so many people in that area that have had problems with them. On top of all the arrests, convictions, CPS calls. I mean, her having her head shaved bothered me. What they were eating, how they were living.
You see what she's doing and how she's wording that. Her having her head shaved bothered me. What they were eating and how they were living bothered me. So she's being honest. She's so oblivious to how shitty she is that she's proud of saying that out loud. How they were living bothered me. It's not your place to be bothered by how other people live. It's not your place. It's none of your fucking business. It's not your place to be bothered by how other people live. It's not any of your business to be bothered whether or not a parent shaved their child's head or not. That's not abuse. Insightly Digest, yeah. She's definitely, oh man.
Bothered me.
I agree. Like,
what?
You know, because I grew up in the South and I grew up in a poor family. There's 7 of us. There's a ton of us kids. And we didn't always have the best. House wasn't always the cleanest, but we were loved. Probably not.
So why would you say that you agree? Don't say you agree.
Not even the best taken care of. And I believe I turned out to be a pretty good person, even in those situations. And I think some people don't understand the Southern living unless you've lived like that. You know, and Don and Candace.
Don't say some people, man. Direct that at her. You know what I'm saying? Like, now he could have done that. He could have been like, you know, isn't it fair to assume that you don't really understand how Southern folks can live, you know, and be happy? Isn't that fair that you maybe just don't understand that? I would have said you, not, you know, like some people just don't understand. Don't be passive aggressive. Tell her straight up. I don't think you understand how Southern people live. That wouldn't have been rude. You know, like it's all in how you word it. Wouldn't it be fair to say that you probably don't understand how Southern people live? Where did you grow up? You grew up in where? Pennsylvania or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know.
Wells are not the only people that live kind of rough like that. There's a whole population of people in this country that live like that.
Yeah.
So when I see them, is it out of the norm for me to see a family in that situation? It's not.
No.
Molly, there's hundreds of thousands of people that are living worse than these people in our country. You know,
Benny, You got to stop, man. Save your money, dude. Thank you, though, man. I do appreciate it. Just stop. I love you, though.
And I know it don't seem like the best conditions to people that are like, because I don't live like that now. I live decently now. And I'm grateful for everything I got, because when you come from nothing and you finally get some stuff, you appreciate it. I feel that way, and
Okay.
I've struggled for everything I got.
Okay, cool.
So if your intentions are good,
kudos,
and you're going down there for a real cause, but I think that you're so convinced that they're guilty that it's clouded your mind to keep an open mind still. Because my thing with you, Molly, is
okay.
if
All
we
right,
find
all
out
right.
in the
There you
end
go.
that
There you
something
go.
else happened to Little Summer, and it had nothing to do with Candace and Don, you can't take these things back that you're doing.
Absolutely, you're right.
You can't. Sorry,
You can't.
can only go so far. Once it's done, it's kind of done.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he's being a little more. I can't fault him for that, I mean, I can't expect him to be as aggressive as I am, you know what I mean? But he is making the same point that any of us would be and have been making, which is, you can't unring the bell. You already did what you did. And a sorry is only going to go so far. And we still haven't gotten that sorry, folks. We still haven't gotten a sorry. Definitely not a sincere one. But I don't even think she's even said the words "I'm sorry" in a. I mean, but if she has, it's in a. Well, I'm sorry if you guys don't look at it like this and blah blah blah. That doesn't count. That's not a sincere "I'm sorry." A sincere "I'm sorry" is I realize that I did this all wrong. And I have no business talking about cases like this because I'm seeing now what kind of damage I could cause. That's a start. That's a start. And that's all that is a start.
And I just want you to keep an open mind and not be so convinced yet that these people are guilty.
I'm sorry, but I am.
I know you
sorry,
are. I 100% know you are. I 100%
She's
know you're
saying, I'm sorry, but.
And that we just going to have to agree to disagree. I'm going to tell you, be honest with you. In the beginning, I agreed that I thought Candace had something to do with it. But my mind has changed so much over seeing her on TV and things like this. And in this world, people grieve differently. Like just in my family. And, and one thing, shout out to you for paying for your mama's roof. I know you got a lot of hate for that, but I am a mama's boy. I'm totally a mama's boy. My mom was alive, I'd have paid for a roof. I paid $20,000 for a city line because my mom had well water, okay, to get her city water to her house. So I understand the loving your mama thing. So that means you got a heart in there. And I think people
she doesn't.
Seeing this bad thing
and
they've spun it on you a little bit. I think you've made some things went a little south for.
No, she doesn't have a heart. No, dude, you're wrong. Like, you're dead wrong. Like, it's not even like a matter of opinion. Like, I just basically broke down as to why this woman has no heart. We haven't seen one thing from her that would indicate that she actually has good intentions of any kind, way, shape, or form whatsoever. No good intentions at all. Show me her good intentions. Give me one example that proves that she has any level of good intentions whatsoever. I challenge anyone to do that.
For you when you was in Tennessee. And I think one of those things that made you look really bad is like there's so many religious people. You may be religious, you may not be, I don't know. But when you went in that church with that pen and you videotaped that little girl, it was bad. It wasn't a good sight. And I'll tell you something else you did that I really didn't like is then you kind of put the blame on that little girl. And I just.
She didn't kind of do shit, dude. She did that. Like, she did that. That right there is just one small example that proves that this woman has no soul. It proves it. That one simple little example that you just gave, her going in there with a spy pen, literally it's called a fucking spy pen, and she went into a church and unsolicitedly filmed a 5-year-old child who is Summer's friend, who's already struggling with the fact that her friend is gone, and there's no way to actually explain this to a child to where they'll actually understand it, because you can't fucking explain it to an adult and they'll understand it. So she sits there and films this little girl, and you're going to sit there and be like, you kind of. Now this dude's kind of pissing me off a little bit. I'm starting to see why people got upset with this guy. Because that's, yeah, dude, you kind of did this. No, motherfucker. This is what you did. And I think you owe everybody here an answer for that. You could have been direct, yet polite.
Stop.
No, I didn't.
I think you did, Molly.
No, I put the blame on. No, actually, I put the blame on all the assholes that was telling me I was a liar, that I wasn't sitting next to Robin. They said I was a liar.
So wait. Okay, so wait. She's blaming listeners for her going into a church with a spy pen and filming a little girl without her permission or her mother's permission. That's what she's doing. So it's our fault. It's my fault right now. Let me, I want to get that straight, Molly. It's my fault that you went in there and did that shit to that little girl. That's your response when he tells you that you blamed that little girl, because she did put the blame on that little girl. So not only is she fucking lying, but she's sitting here making the most ridiculous excuse in the world. She's so desperate to put blame on people who are criticizing her justifiably because she can't handle criticism. That's what she's concerned with here. The only thing she's concerned with is dealing with the criticism that she's enduring right now. And that criticism is absolutely rightfully placed. It's 150% rightfully placed.
So I only gave you guys a snippet of the church.
Yeah.
And that was from my phone. It wasn't the pen. The pens were junky. We told Aya that they would be returned, that they had a 5-minute loop. They had a 5-minute loop. So that was my phone. And that's all they wanted to do was prove, yes, I was. Don't call me a liar.
Oh, okay.
And I get put in those predicaments often with.
All right. We're so sorry that we mistook your phone for a spy pen. We're so sorry about that, Molly, that it was your phone where you unsolicitedly filmed this little girl without her permission in her place of worship with her mother. Yeah. So it was your phone. Our bad. Okay. I'm glad we cleared that up. Thank you. Thank you.
But they say I'm a liar, and then I got to shoot him down. Now, and I got rid of it that next morning.
You got rid of it?
The police spoke to me.
I got rid of it. She wants credit for getting rid of it, people. She wants credit for getting rid of it. Now, make no mistake, the night that she posted it, I played it on this channel. I streamed it from her channel. Now, I only played the audio, and I looked at it. I mean, there really wasn't any audio, but I looked at it, and I made sure, thank God, that somebody in the chat was like, hey, don't show that, because I didn't know what I was looking at. It was sent to me, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to play this. I don't know what it is. And then people in the chat were like, don't show that. And I was like, whoa, okay. Yo, what's up, Crude AF? So she wants credit for that for taking it down, but she didn't take it down till the next day. You just heard her say that she didn't take it down till the next fucking morning. Right? So the next morning she takes it down, but it's only because she got so much shit from people for putting it up in the first place, for taking the footage in the first place. So don't sit here and try to take credit, Molly, because you did the right thing and took it down. You only took it down because you got called out on it so much. And then you just said that the police contacted you
About it, and she did overreact. I guess she thought that I was planning a kidnapping against her.
She had every right to think that. Look at how fucking irrational you've been. You've proven to everyone in that community that you're capable of anything. You prove to everybody in that community that you are capable of doing God knows what. Why the hell else would somebody be worried about some stranger or some crazy YouTuber even who's been acting a fool all over her town, all over her small town where everyone talks? Why else? What else is she going to think? As a responsible parent, you assume the worst. You think the worst. So if I'm sitting there and I'm seeing these people acting a fucking fool, and one of them, the ringleader of the whole goddamn crew, sits next to me in my fucking church, next to my little girl, and starts filming her. No, I don't think Robin overreacted, Marissa. I don't think Robin overreacted in the slightest bit.
Her child.
Well, like, no, I know you wasn't trying. Everybody on the internet knows you wasn't trying to kidnap no child, but I think everybody knew what was going on. We know you're not a kidnapper, Molly. We know that's not the case.
Yeah.
But the whole thing and I heard this myself, that you said that she reached over because she seen something shiny in your purse and she hit it and it cut the pin on. Now,
bullshit.
You should have just, I think you should have just owned it. You know what I'm saying? Just like your mod should have just kind of owned it. Sometimes you just got to own it. Be like, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I did.
Up,
I talked to.
So,
the newspaper called me and I owned it. Yeah, I said, hey, well, what do you think of me going to Robin's house and leaving her a note and apologizing?
More harassment. I think that was just more harassment. That's all that was. What the fuck in God's green earth, in blue perfect fucking hell, would make you think that that woman wants you knocking on her door after that? Even for an apology. What the fuck would make you think that? What are you thinking? That's this lady, dude, is unbelievable.
Or did nobody drop that video yet? I don't think anybody has.
So you actually went and apologized to her?
Yeah, I went to her house. There was an Amazon gift box outside, and the three of us, me, Andrea, and Olivia, rang the doorbell, and I was like, okay, they're not home. They had a red pickup truck, dark red pickup truck on the side. So I wrote a letter. I wrote a note.
What the fuck makes you think we want to know all those details about this lady's house, dude? Shut the fuck up.
And then they took a picture of me holding the note, and then we left. And then she called the cops. And then the next day when we were talking to the cops, it was very interesting. He was like, oh, yeah, I'm the cop that came to that site of Robin, whatever her name is, Robin Lane.
Yeah.
I said, oh, really? He goes, yeah, I responded to that call. He said something really weird. He said, just because, the daughter, Jordan, is same height, blonde hair, it doesn't mean that, they could be mistaken. I'm thinking, what? He said, yeah.
Why are you sharing that little girl's name? I'm pissed that I just fucking played it. Like, why are you sharing that little girl's name? The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, she was in fear for her life. She said that there's an attack on her family, and I'm like, no, I left her a note. Bye, Felicia. Next. That was it. That's what I said to the cop.
Well, let me ask you this. Now, this is one that's always been a curiosity to me. How did you pick your team, and how did you get involved? One, I'm probably getting the Blowhorn Betty thing. The Jonathan Lee Riches dude, I don't know if that's like, I mean, he's so weird that I don't know if it hurts what you're trying to do, involving him in what you're trying to do. Because I think if you're really looking for credibility, which I think a lot of people are giving you a hard time about right now, you got this dude in your circle, and there's no other way to say it. The dude is crazy as fuck.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but I don't fucking care. I don't want to hear a fucking biography on the fucking boobs on the ground gang, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Like, what makes you think that we care about how the gang got together? Dude, no, I don't care about that. Why are you blowing sunshine up this lady's ass?
I mean, the talking, I don't, maybe it's something I don't understand. Like I heard Blowhorn Betty say it's some gonzo reporting, like stuff. I don't,
still
maybe
laugh
I
every
just
time
don't
I hear that.
understand it. But the stuff I have seen on them with the, you know, talking to things and trying to impersonate people and the federal frauds and I was just, what did you notice going into this that this guy was like, what did you know? Like, you know, did you go into this blind?
I met them. Well, I rolled up on their turf outside of Brian Laundrie's house.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I started protesting. I flew down there 2 times and I met them both times. And I was part of getting Cassie to come out and talk to us. But he said, come back tomorrow at 10 a.m. I was like, oh crap, I thought I left on Monday, but I had to be there Sunday. Cassie did come out. And I was like, oh crap, it worked. So I came back down again. And that's when we did the pressure campaign. And I was like,
listen, I see some people in chat are getting annoyed. You're probably Dolly fans, and that's cool. Like, I don't have anything personal against the guy. I'm just saying that what I'm listening to is pretty irritating, man. Because I just don't feel that this woman really deserves as much respect as he's given her. You know, I think he's asking some good questions, but I think that he's catering to her a little more than necessary, in my personal opinion. You know, giving her too much credit. I just don't, you know, like I said, maybe he's just kissing her ass and playing to her ego to keep her talking, sure. But I feel like I would get more honest answers out of her if I also embraced her confrontational side, because she has a confrontational side and she's more likely to scream and yell her answers, and not in an argument, just fucking, you know what, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And nobody understands this and nobody understands that. I would have wanted to get a more emotional response from her. You know, I wouldn't have given her so much room for bullshit. I understand catering to her ego. That makes sense. But not only would I have catered to her ego, but I would have tried to elicit an emotional response from her by playing to her confrontational side, because she loves confrontation. Because make no mistake, she wouldn't have gone on there if a part of her wasn't looking for a fight. I promise you that. She was not looking to go on there to completely and totally have her ass kissed. I promise you that. The little part of her was up there looking for a fight. And I feel he only got half the lies out of her that he would have gotten now. And he would have gotten more honest, fucked up answers. Answers where she would have had to have been faced with having to blurt out, you know what I'm saying? You could have done a fucking straight up, you play her like Tom Cruise played Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men at the end of that part, at the end of that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wants to sit there and tell us how fucking justified she is in what she's doing. She wants us to feel like she's big juicy and she's the one that can do that. Nobody's doing what she's doing. She's not getting enough appreciation, and we should all be grateful for whatever the fuck she's doing. She's dying to tell us that. She's dying to tell his audience that.
like, hey, you guys remember me? And sure enough, that second time, that's when the father came out and led them to, you know, Brian Laundrie's remains and the gun and blah, blah, blah. And we kind of kept it. I kept in touch with them, not Facebook friends or whatever, but they went and they did their Moab thing. They did
I seen the
their
Moab
Kathleen
stuff.
War.
Yeah, and
Yes,
to be honest with you, in the beginning of that, just like everybody else, I ain't gonna lie, because I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I thought the Laundrie family was hiding something, and when I first seen,
we all did. We all did. That's the whole reason the story was.
Betty. or Bullhorn Betty, however you say her name. And I thought what she was doing.
We all thought the Laundries were hiding something. All of us did. The whole world thought that, or otherwise it wouldn't have gotten as much coverage as it did.
Was a good thing. And if you go way back in my videos, probably on JM's TV, I said, look, I hope the lady keeps the pressure. And I was wrong, because they really kind of told the truth that where he went. And I was like, okay, well, I was kind of, maybe we shouldn't attack families. And then I was already feeling that, like, we shouldn't attack families. And I go over into the Summer Wells case, and here there are a lot of people attacking the family. That led me to you.
Right.
So that's how I found out who Molly Golightly was.
Yeah.
You know.
So then they wanted to move on to other stuff. And I said, how about Summer Wells? Now, I had stopped talking about Summer Wells for a while.
You never
long time,
did.
I was like, all right, that church and all that other stuff.
You never had any information on it in the
for me
first
with the
place.
Snakes, and it was just a little too crazy. And there were so many people on it that I went in another direction. I was doing a lot more smaller stories. And I was quite happy doing that. And then when they said we're going to go up there for Summer Wells, I remember being one of the first people to talk about Summer Wells.
You put that bug in their head to go to the Summer Wells thing. Would you say that? Were they going to go to Summer Wells?
I went into this with an open mind, because I was like, I don't know why people were harsh on him, because I heard that people were harsh on him, and I don't know why, you know, because what I heard was like, okay, he's asking some questions that I would have asked. But like I said, I didn't hear the whole thing. But there are things that I'm seeing where I'm just like, this dude is, I'm getting more of a, he's less confrontational vibe than he's just playing it cool and trying to get her talking, you know, because even if that's the case, I'm saying that's not the best way to go. That's a misunderstanding of the type of person that he's dealing with. The type of person that he's dealing with is a confrontational person. And she is dying to make everyone feel, to make everyone understand and know that she is the great Molly Golightly with 50,000 subscribers, and I do what I want, and whatever I do is justified because I'm me. She's dying to tell people that, because that's the kind of ego she has. There's no denying that. So I'm not saying that he's a bad dude and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying, you know, he failed he could have gotten better answers out of her. Crude AF says he brought up some good points, and I mentioned that. I also said he's probably not like us, where we expose, he just interviews and doesn't want to run her off. And I said that earlier before you came in the chat too, Crude AF. I considered that to be a possibility. But the thing is, though, I get that, but I'm just being critical in the sense that like, we're not getting honest answers from her. If you're trying to, the purpose of conducting an interview is not just to keep them talking, because they're just going to lie and you're just going to give them a whole bunch of room to bullshit. The purpose of an interview is actually to get honest answers, is to get to the truth, right? I mean, can we all agree that the purpose of an interview is to get to the truth and not let somebody who you suspect being full of shit and give them an opportunity to just be full of shit? They've been doing that. She's been doing that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm annoyed. That's the only thing that I can say is what's annoying me about him conducting this interview. Other than that, you know, I'm not faulting the guy for not wanting to be confrontational. But if you're going to take on somebody like Molly Golightly in an interview and you expect to get truthful answers from her, well, you've got to be prepared for somebody like Molly Golightly. And being a non-confrontational person and just wanting to keep her talking is not going to cut it. It's not going to get to the truth. You're not going to get the intended results. Because I don't think anybody can disagree that this guy had Molly Golightly in hopes to get the truth out of her. Yes? All I'm saying is he's not doing anything to actually get the truth out of her. That's what I'm saying.
If you had no part in it, would they have went to Summer Wells?
I don't really remember, but I'm just gonna take the blame for it for putting putting it in their head.
Okay. That's cool.
I think I am, but maybe Jay, who's good friends with Jonathan, told her to do the same as well. So I'm not really sure, but we went down there 2 separate times.
Okay.
And there wasn't many problems, but the second time was just the weather was awful. The weather was just the worst undesirable weather you could possibly
It wasn't that
imagine.
bad.
And I hated every second of
It wasn't that
being
bad.
outside in that cold and, the mud. And it is stressful on the body. But we went to all those places that Don said to search.
Mm-hmm.
He called almost every day, and all he did was, play games
Okay,
with us.
I got one more tough question for you.
Get fucked.
I got one more tough one for you. And this one ain't really that tough. Now, I told you I'm my mama's boy. I love my mama to death. She passed away 10 years ago, right? And one thing I thought you did that was super disrespectful was when you went to Don Wells' mama's grave. What reason would you have? What reason would you have to do that?
Oh, that wasn't my idea. It was a lead that a whole bunch of the people wanted us to go check out. And it turns out it was already.
What was the rumor that she may be buried at the grave?
Yeah, and then we saw this weird thing. It was like a round garden type. What do you call it? We did not disrupt it. We did not piss on it. We did not.
That's exactly what it was a garden. It was just a garden. It just didn't have anything growing out of it because it was the dead of winter.
Spit on it. We did not dig it up. We didn't do anything. We just observed, recorded, and left it alone. We never went back.
So the sleuths, the internet, just the rumors that she could possibly be there led y'all to that location.
Yeah, but there was no way that we were gonna look and dig, and there was no.
They were talking about and trying to brainstorm how they could actually find a way to get that dug up. They were doing it on camera there. That right there is a disrespect to Summer's grandmother. You're out there for Summer and you're out here trying to plot ways to somehow desecrate her grandmother's resting place. You're a piece of shit. So no, you weren't out there investigating. Shut up.
No. But we did tell when we went back to Hawkins County Police, we told them that they were up there and we asked if everything was searched.
Now, let me ask you this because I know y'all went out there and protest the police, right?
Okay. What are you talking about, Benny? You're saying that he had a chainsaw picture with Summer? Because I know he likes to splice movie posters with like YouTuber pictures. Like she's got Molly Golightly with Godzilla, JLR with the Fight Club, which I think is too flattering to him. Rocky Horror Picture Show with, I can't really tell who that is. There's a picture of Summer with a chainsaw. Did he do that? Wow. Yeah. Benny, I can't say that I disagree with your looking ass. If I'm being completely honest, dude. I cannot say that I disagree with you in the slightest bit. That is definitely too far. That is in definite poor taste. If I'm Summer's parents, I'm going to definitely see that as a major disrespect and a knife. Okay. Yeah. I'm not even going to show it, I mean, but I see it in the background, like it switches here and there, but I can't really see it. So, but yeah, that's a deal breaker for me there, dude.
Right. Y'all went out there and protested the police. Well, the TBI. Do you think these people are really not doing their job? That they're just like, they don't care?
I used to think that until the last trip. That's good that you asked that. Now I am 1 million convinced, 1 billion% they are watching Benny. They know who Benny is. And I think Benny is going to be the one that brings them down. I really do. He's holding on to a lot of information because they trust him.
Wow.
Okay, so he's holding on to information. So you think Benny Keys I mean, I don't really know. I know
Holla.
I've heard that you and Benny Keys go back and forth, but I don't really know too much about the fights between you and Benny Keys. But how do you think that Benny Keys, if you think that Candace is guilty, and I just want to ask you, how do you think Benny Keys is tied into this? Fill me in. Just give me the scoop. Like I didn't know.
She
Like you're telling me for the first time.
She loves him. She loves partying with him. She loves him. She adores him.
All right. While Benny's in my chat, yes or no question, buddy? Yes or no question? Simple. Do you have any information on Summer's disappearance? Yes or no question?
Candace?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you
Probably
think?
Grandma wants to fuck him too.
What do you think they got to drinking and she may have said something to him or something of that nature?
Not yes. But then again, he's not very credible, Benny. He's not. Because he's a low life himself.
Wow.
You know? But something's gonna happen. And he's gonna get his.
Here's the thing: is he a low life, or do y'all just have?
Dang, Benny, I didn't know you was ripping off strippers and trying to blame it on your friend. I didn't know you were doing that. Jeez, if you were doing that, man, you're definitely a low life.
Have a different opinion on what's going on in the
No, he's
case.
He's a low life. He's a low life.
Okay. And you're not saying that because of internet beef. You're just saying in life in general, he's a low life.
Listen, I disagree with my husband on many things. It doesn't make him a low life.
Okay. That's because your husband's smart. It makes sense that you disagree with him.
A low life, he's gross.
And gross. Okay, give me your theory on what you think happened. Because I like to know. I really don't know what you think happened. What do you think happened? If you were just like looked into your psychic ball, your Molly ball, and you looked in there and there were some little high heels on the side and it was just sitting up there all pretty, what would you see in that crystal ball of what happened to Summer Wells?
It keeps changing. Sometimes I think that she got hurt at the water, but then sometimes I don't know. I don't know how I feel. That's because you don't have, and I don't know these people.
See, right here, this is a perfect example of her proving that she doesn't have enough information to form any type of theory or opinion as to what happened to Summer Wells. She has nothing. She right now is actually proving it to us if we listen carefully.
But what I know of them, it's not looking good. And you could see that the way that they just don't care and they carry on and they want all this attention. But it's never about Summer. And he tries hard to steer away from any questions that happened on June 15th. And I don't understand.
They don't, though. They've been very, very candid. They've talked to many YouTubers, many reporters. They've been very open. Police have said that they've been very cooperative. All law enforcement has said that they've been very cooperative.
These people. And listen, if I'm wrong, trust me, I will make it right. Trust me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think they did something purposely to their child?
No, I don't.
I don't know if, hey, Benny, did you answer my question in the chat? Did Benny answer my question, people? I'm just curious. Okay, there he is. Okay, there it is. There it is. I have no information. You see it right there. Blood Money Benny Keys. Looking ass. I have no information on Summer's disappearance. There it is. Okay? Official statement. It's on record. This live is staying up. Thank you, Benny. I appreciate it, man.
I said the same thing. I said if something happened to this child, because in the beginning, one of my theories were like, because a lot of people talked about the dry drowning, of course, and then, but I was saying, well, look, this little girl was sitting in a hot car in Tennessee, and I'm from the South. Like, you will cook in a car. Hunter said she was okay, but the last we seen, she was asleep. Okay, and a lot of
you're not going to cook in a car driving around with the windows down. Now, I've heard Candace say that she does not run the AC in the car. I believe she did that with Chris McDonough. Now, she's not going to cook in a car that's running and she's laying on cold milk jugs and the windows are down.
People question, was she asleep? Did she pass away from dry drowning? My thing was like, you can have a heat stroke in that type of weather dressed the way she's dressed.
Now, I don't know if Don or Candace, or not Don wasn't there, but if Candace or Candace's grandma or I'm sorry, Summer's grandma, or if Hunter, or if anybody brought towels to go to the swimming hole. So it would make sense to me that after this little girl goes swimming, comes out of the water, doesn't have a towel, she's cold. Makes sense to put on some sweatpants and a hoodie so that she'd be warm. If they didn't bring a towel.
You know, I grew up in Georgia. You sit in a car on a summer day, you will die. But Hunter, and people were like, well, Hunter's in the car with her. And my thing was like, well, he's a bigger guy. He contains more, you know, he'll hold more mass and water weight to sweat. A child ain't going to hold as much. And when she runs out of sweat, she can have a heat stroke. And just sitting in that car that whole time, my thing was maybe she went out to the car and, you know, because the lady said she heard a scream and she might go to take Summer into the house and Summer wasn't with us anymore. You know, that was my thing. That's what I thought. And then as in like, oh my God.
See, that's being left out.
And maybe they covered up.
See, that's being left out because it's clear that they don't have all the information that's available on this case. Neither one of them seem to. I know Molly doesn't, but by him leaving out that one detail and not realizing, I mean, there's photographs. There's that one photograph that is the most in question. Everybody's trying to debate whether or not Summer's alive or dead in that picture. And she's lying on milk jugs. Like, if you follow this case and you claim to follow this case, well, then you're going to be very familiar with that picture. And that picture has her lying on milk jugs. So why hasn't that been brought up yet?
The crime, but I never one time would I think when I see these people that they would hurt their kid purposely.
Well, I mean, they weren't the best. They weren't innocent people. They weren't the best parents in the entire world. Both of them.
Okay, so you're not the best parent in the entire world. Let's be honest about that. Now, that's none of anybody's business, but it pertains to this because you're sitting here criticizing other parents, but you're not the best parent in the world, are you? You have a criminal record, don't you? So where do you get the audacity and the justification to use that as a reason to accuse these people of doing something to their 5-year-old child? It makes no sense. It doesn't add up. That dog don't hunt.
Collectively, and we've seen pictures that they have painted when they get, you know, ossified, 3 sheets to the wind of how they treat each other. You know, we've heard witnesses state that, you know, they saw the father, and you're talking about like a 6-year-old guy punching an 11-year-old boy, and that's their favorite kid.
You don't even know that happened.
If that doesn't make you sick,
you don't even know that happened.
That these guys have done, and it's just like, why did it take Summer going missing for all of these CPS, to do absolutely nothing? CPS came to my house yesterday, and we were talking about
I don't agree with that. I'm going to say right now, whoever called, I heard people call the CPS on you, and I think that's horrible that people would take, this internet stuff and then try to affect you in the real world.
Now, I want to be clear about something. I don't agree with that taking place. But Molly doesn't get to call herself a victim. Okay? Because she has called CPS. She went to this dude's probation officer's office, to Don's. She went to Don's job and got him fired from his home, from his job, and Candace. She showed up to his house and harassed him. So does Molly get to call herself a victim because somebody called CPS on her? No. Is it right that somebody called CPS on Molly? No, not at all. I don't agree with it, but I don't agree with her sitting here and acting like shit. You know, God, poor me. Oh my goodness. You know, that's nah. Nah.
I wouldn't call the police on nobody. I wouldn't call the FBI on you. I wouldn't do anything. You know, I will talk shit about you if I think you do something stupid or joke on you and clown on you and things like that. But I would never do nothing to personally hurt you or anything like that. You would never have to worry about that type of attack coming from me.
That's the dark side of YouTube.
You know what I'm saying?
You're the dark side of YouTube.
And I've had that. I've had people call the FBI on me. Like I didn't always do true crime. I didn't always do true crime, but I did talk about criminal cases.
That's how fucking oblivious she is, dude. Dude, Marissa, you're the dark side of YouTube. You do all this shit. What are you talking about? You do all that shit. You've been doing it for years. And you have the audacity to sit here like and act like a victim and say that that's the dark side of YouTube, people that do that. You do that. You're the dark side of YouTube. What do you think the rest of us are up here fucking calling you out on? Like, what do you think the rest of us are up here doing? Why do you think that your sub count is deteriorating?
Court cases, right? And I did millions and millions of hits on that, and it brought haters. It brought a lot of haters. It brought a lot of threats. It brought a lot of stuff that you're getting, backstabbers and things like that.
I've been doing this for 4 years.
That's how long I've been doing it for. I've been doing it 4 years also. This is my little channel. This is my small channel, and it's my true crime channel. My other channel is more entertainment news type stuff, and you know, stuff like that. I've flipped around a lot over the years in YouTube. More or less, I'm not a detective. I'm more of a YouTuber than anything. You know. So I tell people all the time, like, I'm not going to solve a crime, but I enjoy talking about these crimes and what's going on with it.
Yeah, I can relate to that. That's all I am too. You. Oh God,
I like that.
Man. Come on,
I'm behind the scenes kind of.
Come on, man.
I like the heels on the ground stuff. I like the boots on the ground stuff.
I'm not a heels on the ground person like you. And he's like giving her respect. Like, I could see why everybody got pissed off today, man. He's giving her respect. He's saying, I'm just a behind the scenes YouTuber. No, dude, what you do, because I'm just a YouTuber. But you better believe if I'm talking to her, I'm going to be like, you need to know your place. This heels on the ground bullshit doesn't help anything. What you need to do is just be a YouTuber like the rest of us and fucking YouTube responsibly. Give facts, accurate information. That's what you need to be doing. This heels on the ground bullshit is interfering with an investigation. So if you're a true crime creator and you have this person on there and your purpose of having her on there is to confront her for her behavior, well, then right there was your perfect opportunity to say, hey, you're doing it wrong. Do better. I mean, if that's what you have been saying this whole time, why not say it to her when she's on your panel?
I think that I'm not going to take it away from them as far as Andra and Jonathan, what they're doing with their, you know, campaign, press campaign. Hey, Heidi. I got my Patreons coming in and everything.
Thank you. Thank you, Molly.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you see my thumbnail?
No.
We could be a power couple. We could be Mr. and Mrs. Ollie. We'd be like the Kardashians, me and you. We just take over YouTube, right?
Molly and Molly sitting in a tree.
Yeah.
Oh, you're funny.
Uh-huh.
I like, you know what I'll tell you? I'll be honest. I think that it felt good for once to earn my super chat and earn it. And I didn't realize that it was going to piss so many other channels off that we were, you know, making them look bad because.
No, you're making yourself look bad. I look just fine. Shit. I look just fine. My sub count, my subscriber change is up 500%. Well, no, that's Crude AFs. Crude AFs is up like 525%. Mine's up like 450%, something like that, or 425%, something like that. But it's not down 60. You know, so I look just fine. Crude AF looks just fine. Burnt Toast is looking good too. We're all looking just fine. Blood Money Betty Keys is looking just fine. So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. We're not mad that you're getting money. We're mad that people are giving you money. There's a difference.
Here they are, quote,
Well,
you know.
Let me correct that. I can't speak for everybody. I'm mad that people are giving her money. Other people are like, that's cool, man. You make your money. And that's fucking great too. Me, I just feel like people need to be more educated, because as long as there's a demand for her bullshit, then this is going to happen in future cases over and over again. So yeah, it bothers me that people give her money, that they spend their hard-earned money and support that.
Listen, before I ever did any boots on the ground stuff, people always used to say, "Oh, you're exploiting this child for money." Anyone who wants to complain about that, they've been doing this for hundreds of years, where they talk about crime, and nobody ever cares what the news and the newspapers does it, and that we have channels basically for true crime.
Dude, that's because these are trained professionals. These are trained journalists, people who report news responsibly, accurately. You're comparing yourself to that. You don't compare yourself to that. Casey K, welcome.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, just admit it. You just don't like it that I'm doing it. And you want to know something?
Oh, yeah,
a lot of people are being looked.
I'll admit that. I don't like that you're doing it, Molly. I don't like that you're doing it because it's you, and it's not because it's you so much. If you weren't the type of person that wasn't completely full of shit and with ill intentions, yeah, that's what bothers me. You're not doing anything to create awareness for missing kids. You're exploiting the entire idea of a serious issue that we have in our society. You're exploiting that, and you're minimizing it, and you're making it entertainment. You're making it trash television instead of keeping the focus on trying to create awareness on a problem so that people have less, people have less bravery to actually go out and try to commit one of these crimes.
Looked at as fake because
Nicole
they're
Fenditti,
talking
welcome.
about it and they're not doing it.
Your
Now,
haters,
that's not
I know you know this. The people that hate you, they're the ones that are going to make you popular.
Oh, yeah, they make me. I don't even have to go on. I still make money. If I don't go on for a week, I still make money because the people talk about me.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. And but I think it'd be better if people talked about you good, Molly, instead of like, I think you made a couple wrong moves in that Tennessee ordeal. And like, I think you just need to learn from them wrong moves you made. And the next time you make moves, you make the right moves.
It would be nice. I'm still learning.
So, and then I think once you do something good, maybe some of that heat will come off of you.
I have a solution, Molly Go Lightly. I have a solution, Miss Dumpy Dump. Maybe next time listen to your husband. Why not just apply your husband's common sense? If you're going to do this, because nobody can stop you from doing it, you know? But if you're going to do this and you're still learning and you claim to have this open mind, if you would listen to your husband and actually let him take the lead on this whole thing as far as guiding you, well, we wouldn't be talking about you like this. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. Listen to your husband. That's what he's there for.
Or somebody is more villainized than you comes along for us YouTubers to talk about.
Well, I'll tell you, like, it doesn't bother me. What's the only thing that ever really bothers me is lies. And lies are what I talk about. And
no, lies are what you tell.
When someone's called me a liar, I show them the proof. That's how the whole...
No, you don't. We show proof on a daily basis of you lying, like we've already done here tonight.
Whole Robin thing happened.
Yeah,
I'd
rather open the line.
Not just tonight, but all fucking day.
I see y'all and ask y'all what's going on and just sit up here and talk shit about you for months and not know. So that's why I said, hey, tell her to call in. Tell Bull or Betty to let me understand what's going on with you ladies. That's it. Because if I'm going to talk about you, maybe I won't talk bad about you next time. You know, I understand what's going on with you guys, and I just didn't. You know.
Yeah, it's over. We can't change anything. We can't change the past.
Yep.
We don't get a chance to do it over. It's not like I definitely didn't anticipate everything. I remember before I left, I said, I have no high expectations. When you have very low expectations, you'll never be disappointed.
Well, I want to thank you for being super cool about the whole stuff that's, me picking on you and me bombing your rooms and things like that. They do want to ask one tough question. They want to know, when you was at that window screaming at the job, was you screaming, your baby's dead? Okay, now I watched your video and you said you didn't say that, but there's clips out there with you standing at the window of the car with Candace and you're screaming something, or is that doctored? It sounds to me, sound like you said your baby's dead.
Why is he giving her outs?
There, and I know it's being recorded. What was you screaming at her in the car when because I think this is what got a lot of people mad at you, Molly. What was you screaming at her?
That was only one of the things that got us mad.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I just played it.
The cops were the cops are standing with us still. The cops were there. That's why I was getting the trespassing ticket, is because the cops saw me go up on the rock. And what I did say to her was, bitch. That's what I said. And I said it low. Mr. Mercer, don't touch her. Now people could say that, oh, I'm sorry your baby's dead. I don't think I said that, but because I try not to talk about her.
To be honest with you, what I sound like I heard. Now, I'm one of the people that say don't.
Sorry you lost your job. I'm sorry that your baby's dead. I'm sorry that you don't have a soul. Sorry you lost your job. I'm sorry that your baby's dead. I'm sorry that you're dead. I'm sorry that your baby's dead. 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 I'm sorry that you don't have a soul.
Don't believe nothing you hear and half of what you see, and sometimes none of what you see. But to me, honestly, it sounded like you said your baby's dead. But that,
well, I probably did. Don't forget, and maybe I don't listen. I probably forgot, and maybe I said it. But guess what? At this
vodka and pills
point, I have no reason to believe that she's alive, and that was my only chance to talk to her. I said what I wanted to say to her, and I hope she feels guilty. And I'm glad I said it in front of the police. Yes, she's not getting an apology from me.
We shared a video of a boy.
You see what I'm talking about, folks? See what I'm talking about? She's dying. She's dying for that confrontation. This live is about to end. Okay? This or this interview, right? This interview is about to end, right? And she feels incomplete without a fight. She's showing it. You see, she's about to get worked up. Her attention's about to get cut off, and she gets worked up, and she starts going off, telling truth that she's dying to tell.
When he was 5 years old, and they found him when he was 25 years old, and he never knew he was abducted. You know, I mean, crazy things have happened. There's been people chained up in basements. There's been people tied to beds. There's been people sold into sex trafficking.
Is he talking about Steven Stainer? That story is actually crazy, yo. There's this kid got kidnapped when he was like 7 years old, and his name was Steven Stainer. This was back in the 70s. And then in the 80s, he actually like realized that he was kidnapped because this dude kidnapped another little boy, and he was already in high school. And then he escaped with the little boy and went to the police and was just like, yeah. And said that he was kidnapped. What's crazy though, is his little brother. I can't remember his name. His little brother turned out to be a serial killer later on. He ended up becoming a serial killer. Steven Stainer died of like a drug overdose or something like that. Or he got murdered or something. I can't remember exactly, but his little brother turned out to be a serial killer. It's crazy. No, I didn't say, "Hey Siri." I know you don't know how to respond to it. I didn't call you Siri. Fuck off.
I think the whole cornbread mafia shit was just funny by Dr. Phil. I don't believe nothing to do with that. But there's other things out there that are possible.
Tracy, thank you for the PayPal.
Wrong, Molly. You could be absolutely right when this comes out. You could be absolutely 100. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm just saying that just keep an open mind. When you like, I know you
Carrie Stainer, thank you, Tammy.
Just was in the moment and you just was in go, but like, just remember there's a possibility. And I know you like me. Okay. I always think I'm right, and I'm not always right.
Motorcycle accident.
You might not be right.
Thank you, Irish.
You know, it's trying to plant that seed in your mind that hey,
let me keep an
open mind.
I could be wrong. And
yeah, there was that mini series that took place on NBC back in the 80s. I saw it a few times. It's called "I Know My First Name is Steven." Corin Corky Nemec. Corky. Hell. Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Y'all are like, yo, you watched too much TV as a kid.
You know what? My ego's not so big that I won't apologize. I will apologize profusely.
You need to apologize now, because what you're doing is you're even acting like that it's justified to have done the things that you've done if Don and Candace actually did have something to do with Summer's disappearance. That your actions are justified. This is what proves to me, because she's not even thinking on the level of what she's doing is interfering with an investigation, tampering with an investigation. She's blatantly negatively affecting an investigation by going around and talking to potential witnesses, by going around and knocking on people's doors, by going around and stepping all over what may or may not be a crime scene, by going around and harassing the people who could be people of interest, and creating sympathy with the jury, creating more, giving the defense more. So yeah, exactly what she's doing is hindering the investigation.
But until that day comes and you show me that they produced that baby alive.
And let me ask you this. I got a better question. I got a better question for you. And this one's, why did you choose Molly Golightly? Because you don't go lightly. So why did you go with Molly Golightly? I'm just curious.
I had already been a life coach.
Yeah, listen, I don't want people to think that I'm taking jabs at this dude's personality. He's obviously a very chill and relaxed guy. You know, he was very nice to me with me on his panel. Sure. You know, like I'm saying he had an opportunity. He had an opportunity with Molly Golightly on his panel because she won't go on anybody's panel. And maybe it's because she saw that he's a pushover in that sense. Maybe, you know, but maybe, you know, I feel like he had a rare opportunity here and he could have gotten the truth out of her. And the truth simply being, hey, I'm a greedy piece of shit and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about it.
And I thought that Marissa Zadinsky, life coach, wasn't like a very happy name. So I've always loved this movie called Breakfast at Tiffany's, and the main character was Holly Golightly, and
she would love that fucking movie.
I really wanted my branding to be the Tiffany blue with the white ribbons and stuff like that. That's all I wanted. So then I started
Who cares?
a YouTube channel. It was like Jake's Mom or something like that. And then I was like, you know what? I might as well just put Molly Golightly. And it stayed that way. I hate the name Molly. I hate it. I think Marissa's much prettier. But it's too late now.
So you're locked into it.
You don't give a lot of. I didn't think it was going to become what it was. You know? It's kind of like New Kids on the Block. Not saying that. You know, now they're NKOTB.
Are they still a thing?
You know,
is that still a thing? Okay, wait. Now I heard this. Now I don't know if this is touchy with you.
Type of one if you actually give a fuck about New Kids on the Block. Type any other number if you don't.
Something, but I have no clue really when I asked you about this. So I'm going into this kind of blind. I heard something about Nick Carter or something. I mean, could you just break it into a quick little summary? Is there was there a relationship or something?
Oh, there's a lot of New Kids fans in here. Okay, all right. I stand corrected.
Yeah,
okay.
Very long time ago.
Oh, okay.
A lot of
I had
New
heard
Kids in
something
here.
about that, and I was like, that was a thing that you had a while back.
I apologize to my chat. I guess I just don't have the right stuff. Baby.
On the internet where you were going through some thing. I had heard that. I didn't know too much about it. So I don't know if that's a touchy.
I was in my early 20s.
Is that a touchy subject?
No, it's just really old.
Oh, okay. Because I was, I hate to break some shit.
I just happened to have a thing when I was like 22 with Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys a long time ago. And then in 2017.
She had a thing with Nick when she was 22. Marissa was born in, hold on a second. Got to find something for you guys real quick. Real quick. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find this. All right. Let's see.
It's like that was a thing that you had a while back on the internet where you were going through some thing. I had heard that. I didn't know too much about it, so I don't know if that's a touchy.
I was in my early 20s.
Now this is Heels on the Ground. If you guys are Heels in the Air, sorry, Heels in the Air. This is her channel, I believe. Let me make sure. Yeah, Heels in the Air. Make sure to subscribe to Heels in the Air. This is her content right here that I'm streaming.
Is that a touchy subject?
No, it's just really old.
Oh, okay. Because I was, I hate to break some shit.
I just happened to have a thing when I was like 22 with Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys a long time ago. And then
let's make that big, shall we? All right. Marissa, born in 1974. So when she was 22, Nick Carter would have been 16. Okay. She was 22. Nick Carter would have been 16. Just yeah. You guys do the math on that. Form your own opinion on that.
around
Are
Thanksgiving.
they the ones like you got the right stuff, baby? Is that
No,
them?
that's you. Wow.
No, the
Okay,
way you
okay.
tell
No,
me
that's,
on the
Backstreet
right
Boys are the
stuff.
ones.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So okay, I got you. I got
Basically
you.
the
the
same
right
thing.
stuff.
So that's the big brother. That's not the methed out brother.
No, that's Aaron Carter.
Okay.
Aaron
okay.
Carter was solo.
I will say,
Okay, I got
and
you.
yes, Aaron.
I will say that I dig New Kids on the Block more than I dig Backstreet Boys. So please don't go.
Popped on my channel a few times. He has. He's popped on and took a link, and he really liked my channel. He's like, everyone's so nice to me here. He goes, when I go on my own channel, he's really
look at
nice.
ass. Molly is terrible at math.
Because your channel is probably all
sex
ladies,
math.
Molly. The ladies watch you. A lot
Yeah.
of ladies watch you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. They're all
I found that out. You know, I found out a lot of things about the ladies. I've heard that when y'all do yoga, y'all tend to want to pee on yourself sometimes. And I thought that was a little bit too much information, but you know, people like to share here.
that one's true to me.
You know, I was like, that's a little much. But look, I want to thank you for taking the time and calling in and explaining some of it and clearing some of it up for me. When we going on our first date, you're gonna have to tell Princess, you know, he got to share. Okay.
Thank you.
Sex math.
You're really sweet.
All right, I'll be waiting. Okay.
I'll tell everybody sub up to you.
Send the limo.
Oh, I'm crying.
Send the limo.
I will.
All right. Peace, Molly.
Have a good night.
Peace.
All right, that's enough of that bullshit. All right. Sex math. This shit is so funny. All right. We're going to hang out a little bit. So the link's in chat if anybody wants to come up, share their thoughts. Oh my God. I don't know why I found that so funny. I mean, it might have a lot to do with the joint I smoked before I started this, but like sex math. Oh man. Yeah, are you kidding, Chris Matheson? Yeah, dude. Panda's she's just all sweet. You know, she barks at dumb shit, but for the most part, she just chills, dude. She likes to just sit behind me while I'm doing these things. Dude, yeah. So, I mean, 22 and 16. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I don't know, dude. Like, when I was 16, if I got to sleep with a 22-year-old woman, I'd have been like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm not about to sit here and call Nick Carter, the boy band, you know, like pop star, a victim. I mean, is he a victim in the sense that it was Molly Golightly that he slept with? You know, that's debatable, but like a 16-year-old boy sleeping with a 22-year-old woman, does that make the 22-year-old woman fucked up? Yeah, I guess so. Kinda, you know, but like, what is he traumatized other than it was her that he slept with? You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, think about that. Imagine your boys, like you say you're 16, right? And then you sleep with Marissa, right? You're 16 and you sleep with Marissa and all your friends, but probably, you know, him being who he was at the time, like she was probably just a thotty. You know what I mean? That's all she was just a thotty, just anybody, just somebody to bust a nut on. You know what I mean? Quick at 16, you know, probably forgot all about her. And then like, but if I'm one of his boys, right? We've been hanging out since we were 16. I still got a bunch of friends that I've had since I was 16. And if I'm seeing all the stuff I'm seeing about her and my friend slept with her back when we were 16 and I'm seeing all this stuff now, I'm gonna be looking at my boy like, damn, dude. Damn. You know? Like, look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. Like, imagine that jail footage from New Orleans came out and somebody was like sitting there with their phone, chilling, just scrolling through stuff. I was like, hey, yo, Nick, ain't this that thotty from back in the I just see Nick Carter sitting there in the music studio behind the mix board, and he's looking at the phone and watching that video. I swear to God, I'm not a dumpy dump. And he's just going, damn. Yo, Hillbilly Nitro.
What's going on, Home Skillet? What you doing, Home Skillet?
I mean, you see what I'm doing.
Calling out the bullshit.
As always. How are you?
Yeah, doing all right, man. But I got a headache from all that nonsense, having to listen to that bullshit.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I just, you know, she's just gotta, you know, I had to weigh in on that. You know what I mean? Like I know a few other creators already weighed in on it today, and I had to weigh in on it just because I had to hear it for myself, because I couldn't pay close attention to it, and because I had other stuff going on, and if I'm in chat, you know, I'm chatting. You know, if I'm in somebody else's, what's funny is when I'm in somebody else's, I'm hearing maybe 60% of what the creator is saying, because I'm looking at chat and I'm interacting with chat a lot too.
Yeah. Well, you got to bring the truth, reason, and logic to the table.
Right. Yeah, man. You didn't, you know, at the beginning of your show, you was talking about that. What was her name? The woman that she put on blast. I don't remember her name. Was it Susan?
Yeah, I think it's Susan. Whatever her name was.
I still don't know what happened with that. If anybody's got like
what happened with it, I happened to hear all this go down.
I mean,
I just happened to be watching and I heard it.
Somebody messaged me and told me that they showed up on on that they showed up on Dolly Vision's panel and then claimed to be that person's sister, and they were trashing Molly Golightly.
Well,
And then it turned out it wasn't her, but it's one of her mods, I think.
What Molly did was she pulled this chick up, and this chick's like over in the UK. Okay.
Okay.
Well, Molly pulled her up on a panel. Okay, she was live, and she played that chick. I guess she was on the Dolly Vision guys channel, and she played it on the live of her this chick talking shit about Molly, and she's like, "Is that you? Is that you? It sounds like you." And the woman, I guess she's like a fan of Molly or whatever, and she's like, "No, that's my sister. That's my sister." And it was totally her, but she was getting called on her bullshit, and she just sat there and kept, and then Molly brought some other people up, and they kind of berated this woman, and was telling her she was full of shit, all that. It was low. I wouldn't have done that to somebody, of course. I don't think like that, so.
Well, I mean, if she is up there talking shit on somebody else's panel about a person she's a mod for, and then she's trying to act like it wasn't her and tried to act like she's all loyal to Molly. Well, she deserves to be called out on it.
That's what it was. And this woman was like, "Oh, I just want you to be my life coach and all this."
She said all that. Oh my God, I wish I could have heard that.
She's like, "My sister told my dad that that she'd done this. My sister acts like me." And Molly's like, "Well, call your dad." And she wouldn't do it. Said she couldn't call her dad and all this other stuff. She even showed a picture of her supposed sister, which was supposed to be her twin sister, but the chick was like way younger.
Okay.
I don't know. Wow. It was some total fan stuff going on there too. So it was a little
weird. Cherry, you already do talk shit about the troll.
Cherry bombs. I call her Cherry Bomb.
Yeah, Cherry's great.
She's a bomb with those links. She drops the bombs with the links.
Yeah, she is an intricate part of this channel.
Where's old Blowhorn Betty been? She's been awful quiet here lately.
Well, I mean, people have been saying that too, but we got to remember she is in Louisiana. But also, I mean, would that stop her? But we don't know I don't know what she's doing in Louisiana. Maybe she's busy, but she's not going live. She's been uploading short videos. And I would play them, but somebody already played them. I think it was like Crude AF that played it today, and it was awful. Like, because it was just, not awful in the sense, because if it was awful in the sense to where I could stream it, but it was just a bunch of blowhard nonsense. She was talking about the Moab murders, and she was just speaking just nonsense, not making any sense. Like, it was the kind of stuff that just made you just sit there brain numb and go, like, that's all it was. So I think I've put the chat through enough of that kind of shit tonight, so I'm not gonna go over that. But yeah, it was
She may be waiting on her new computer that she e-begged for.
Right. Crazy to me, man. It's crazy. Like, she's not going to do shit. She's just not a good content creator. What she's not realizing is the difference between her and Marissa is that she actually believes her shit. Like, Bullhorn Betty believes that she is some sort of crusader. It's something that she lies to herself for in order to give herself some self-worth. She convinces herself that the things that she's saying are actually true about herself, that she's out there doing good, and she's out there being an activist, and and she's an expert on this and an expert on that, and she does that shit to feel some sort of self-worth because she knows she's a worthless piece of shit. But Molly, on the other hand, she knows what she's doing. She knows that she is taking advantage of people. She knows that she's putting out garbage content because it's what sells. You know, she knows the exact demographic that she's targeting, and she knows how to get money out of them. She's perfectly aware of it.
She's basically like a YouTube reality show is what she is. Her and that other
Basically,
chick.
right?
They go back and forth, you know, the Laura chick, I think.
Right. But her ego is so much that she convinces herself that she's doing that for the greater good too. The problem is that, you know, Molly consciously lies to people. Bullhorn Betty lies to herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Bullhorn Betty, she's believing those you know, everybody's got a little core set of subscribers that tell them that they're doing good. She's believing those people too much.
Right.
You know, she's got people in her subscribers that tell her she's the greatest thing in the world, and she's actually believing that stuff. They're just people that just want to be like her.
Right. I mean, she wouldn't be doing as much as she does. You know, like Molly Golightly, she went to Rogersville and she went to Florida for the Brian Laundrie thing, and she came to Knoxville, right? But Bullhorn Betty is constantly out there harassing and being a Karen, constantly. And it's so that she could tell herself that she's doing something worthwhile. But what she's doing is just making unnecessary noise that's only irritating people. It's not making anyone think. It's not inspiring any thought. It's not doing anything productive. You know, it's just making people go, look at that. What a fucking Karen. You know what I mean? Like,
she's gonna have to understand that, you know, she's out here claiming the First Amendment, but she don't understand when you claim the First Amendment, you open yourself up to people to use their First Amendment against you.
Like me, like everybody else, you know, like all of us right now are doing. You know, I mean,
what's up with what?
And then
she
thinks that she's calling us criminals for doing it. That's how clueless she is. She believes that we're somehow breaking the law by talking about her being a jackass.
Threatening to use the FBI on us.
Right. She believes she's in the right, and that we're cyberbullying her without considering that she's cyberbullying and literally bullying, physically bullying Don and Candace. So
it baffles me because I know her and Jonathan, and they're politically in line with each other.
Oh, they're all politically in line with each other.
He claims to be a patriot and all this other stuff, but you're sitting here and you're completely throwing out due process when you go there, harass and accuse those parents.
And you're wearing a hat that says, you're wearing a hat that says, "Make white America great again."
Yeah. You can't make it up. It's
I mean, yeah, like, and there's no way I'm running around with a guy like that. You know what I mean? Like, he could genuinely be trying to do the best thing for the Summer Wells case. And I'm not going to be associated with that guy just because of that. So that tells me everything that I need to know about the other people who are looking up to him. They're following him. You know,
here's
they're like, he really knows what he's doing. He really knows what he's doing, man. This guy's really knowledgeable. That's what they're all saying. And it's like, well, you know, you don't see that he's an absolute and total racist. We know Bullhorn Betty doesn't care because she's a fucking racist, and we showed proof of that too. And Molly Golightly,
Proud Boys,
yeah,
the Proud Boys,
and throwing white power symbols with her hands. So,
but here's what I want to ask you about Mr. JLR. What's up with these bikers and him stirring these people up? Because I know he's stirring them up.
I don't know much about it. As soon as I know more, I did look up their Instagram. And really they're just it's like one guy. Like, all the pictures that I see are like selfies of like one guy, and just a lot of right-wing political posts.
I shouldn't call them bikers.
Well, they're
proper
not.
term.
Yeah, because
Proper term is motorcycle club is kind of
well,
what would be the
I wouldn't
proper
even
term.
call them that, because I'm only seeing one guy. And you know, if these guys attended a bunch of events and did this stuff actively all the time, well, their IG would have a whole bunch of pictures of them at events promoting what they do. And they don't. So I'm just going to go ahead and call them a bunch of fucking posers. That's what I'm going to call them.
I checked out his Instagram, and he's got all kinds of older pictures of him wearing the colors. That leather jacket he's wearing. That's a motorcycle. That's called colors, and he's got a little symbol on him that says like cosigner or something on it. So he's a member of this. You don't just get to wear that shit.
Who, JLR?
Yeah, that leather vest he's wearing.
Okay.
Ride for 45 or something.
Yeah, that's the group, supposedly. Yeah. Ride for 45.
He's wearing that, so he's a member of them. You don't just get to wear that stuff. That stuff.
Okay, but
like that.
I mean, a member of what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is Ride for 45? Obviously, 45 being that Donald Trump, the 45th president.
Right.
So
that's what it is.
Their whole shit is in support of Donald Trump. Like, that's their whole. So that's their whole. I mean, that's not a very intimidating. You know, like, it's not like hell. Yeah, it's not like Hell's Angels or, you know, like devil wolves or anything like that, or, you know, like that's not, you know what I mean? We're talking about they're bikers for a president. That's not very intimidating at all. You know what I mean? Like, they sound like a bunch of posers, like a bunch of middle-aged guys who fucking retired and bought motorcycles, and they were like, we love Trump, let's go take a ride on a Sunday. You know, like, that's what it comes off like to me.
I'm just wondering if this is a legitimate group. Do they actually know who he is? Because
if JLR is who JLR is,
who he is, you know.
I mean, probably. You know, so I don't think that they're legitimate at all, because no legitimate group would actually take that guy seriously.
I don't know. It's interesting. I seen a picture of him. He's like in a Walmart or something. And he has it shows his little jacket, and it's got his little badge right on the front there, and it says like cosigner. And there's like different member level statuses that you can be in those clubs or whatever. And
yeah, they probably follow the same rules as a biker club. I'm just saying, I don't see this being like a biker club to be reckoned with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a real biker club that's involved in some back dealings and shit, and actually has political influence, you know, to certain degrees, because they muscle the right people and do this and do that. Like fucking, you know, like a biker club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not getting that at all. I think these are just, you know, at best, they're just going to go back to they're going to go back to Rogersville, and they're going to make a bunch of noise with their stupid fucking motorcycles, and then they'll get arrested. And I hope they do. You know, like, let me see if I could find that footage real quick.
I know here in Tennessee, you can't just start a biker club. I mean, you've got to get permission from some of these other ones that are here. I know some old boys that are in biker clubs or motorcycle groups, as they call themselves, and you've got to get permission to wear your colors, as they call them. I don't know how it works down in Florida, but it's kind of how it works here in Tennessee.
Hey, everybody, with the missing child here, we're out. All the bikers are up there. We're going up there to find.
Does that guy look intimidating at all?
I can't see him here.
Let me see here. Dude. Did he eat the rest of his gang?
He said,
on our way.
Sounds like he's.
No, this poor child. You got to do the right thing. All the bikers are on their way. So why are you helping?
He sounds related to JLR.
He sounds like he's from up north. Yeah, like JLR.
Hold on. I just want to hear this guy's voice again.
You got to do the right thing.
You're gonna do the right thing.
All the bikers are on their way.
So the bikers are on their way.
Why are you helping? Why are you on the way? What are you?
Because it's the right thing to do. We're missing child, very important. The child trafficking is like $150 billion industry, and we're hoping that didn't happen to her. So we're going to be looking, and that's what we do. That's our job.
Are you going to?
That's what we do. That's our job. When have you done that? Why haven't I read anything? I looked everywhere for Ride for 45, and I didn't find them actually doing jack shit.
Try to talk to the parents, Don,
Yes,
and Don,
yep, we're going to talk to the parents and find out the truth.
or shake the truth out of them.
Shake the truth out of them.
Shake the truth. Well,
Shake the truth out of them. So they're saying that their plan is basically to go harass Don and Candace.
we support the bikers. And how many bikers are expected to go look for Summer Wells?
A couple of hundred.
A couple of hundred. And you'll be looking what, in the fields?
The field, also parks.
What fields? The fields? What fields?
Fields that's already been searched like 7 times.
What now?
The fields that's already been searched like 7 times.
Exactly.
Surrounding area.
Well, thank you for what you're doing. Justice for Summer Wells is coming. Stay safe, stay warm when you guys are up there. We do support the bikers. We do support the bikers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moron.
So that guy was a Ride for 45 guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure JLR supports him because he wears their same colors.
Like
he wears their same jacket, so I'm sure he does support them.
Like there's bikers that if I see them, I'm gonna be like, holy shit, let me just not even make eye contact. And then there's that guy, you know. Like, dude, what do you guys do? Like, you eat, what do you have, pie eating contests for fucking fundraisers for your causes? Like, what are you doing, dude?
If you look him up on his Instagram, you'll see that he's wearing that Ride for 45 stuff all over his Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like, so he's been a member of that stuff a while.
Oh my God, dude.
I looked him up on Facebook too, and he's got like, there's like numerous accounts with his name on it, and then got like all the people have like Arab, like a friends list full of Arab people and like Muslim people. It's like full of that stuff.
That's a red flag in and of itself.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Like, I don't know why it's a red flag, but it's definitely a red flag. It's something that if you know what I'm saying? If I work for the U.S. government, and I see that, I'm going to be like, what's going on here? It merits further investigation.
It's like he's obsessed with that people that's Arab or something. I don't know.
Right. Like, it's super weird. It makes absolutely no sense at all. All right, man. Hillbilly Nitro. It's Keith,
Good
right?
Picking.
Is it Keith?
Yeah, Keith.
Okay.
Good picking your brain, man.
Hey, no problem. I'm happy to have you on panel with me, man. We'll I hope to see you again. You've been in here a lot, so I guess I'm hoping to see you next time as usual.
Oh yeah, man. I'll be watching you next time you're on. So
right on, man. I appreciate it.
You have a good one, man. Enjoyed the show.
You too. Thanks, man.
See you, man.
Yeah, folks. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, people. I'm really glad everybody came out and we got to do this together. I love you guys. Everybody who, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit the like on your way out. I would really appreciate that. And for everybody who showed support tonight, yo, Blood Money Benny Keys, much love to you. I really appreciate all the love you sent, man. I'm really, really grateful. And everybody else who showed support, thank you so much. And we will do this again very, very soon, my friends.